Finally, the 3 Count Pod has come back to the airwaves.
Finally.
We're
Literally
back.
finally. Hot minute, Dill. It's been a hot minute.
It has been a hot minute. We've had a few weeks off. As always, I'm Dylan Chambers. Alongside me is Ben Hobden. We're back after a few weeks. How was Christmas, mate?
Mate, it was large. Too much food, a few too many beers, but that's Christmas, isn't it? So
That's the way you got to
that's
do
the way
it.
we do it. How was yours?
Yeah, it was pretty good. A bit of family, a few drinks here and there, a bit of seafood.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Nice.
Now,
What else?
we've got a
What else
lot to
going
get
on?
through because we've been off for a little while. So we've got a few things to catch up on. But we'll get it out of the way first. A bit of housekeeping. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, hit that follow button. But let's jump straight into it, Benny. What have you got news-wise for me?
I think the biggest news we have to mention, obviously, since we've not been here, is Jeff Hardy's release. That's got to be the biggest news going on, surely.
Yeah. Oh, Jeff Hardy. Apparently, he was performing intoxicated.
Yeah, again. Well, we've seen him do that before.
At a house show. Watching on YouTube that match he was supposed to have with Sting, or he did have, but
yeah,
that was painful. I don't think it was that bad, and from all reports,
it didn't seem to be that bad because he did carry most of that match. He was in a triple threat match. Oh no, he was in a 6-way tag team match.
Yeah.
And then he just tagged out and then just rolled out of the ring, rolled over the barrier, and just went into the crowd. And you just see all the security guards just freak and chase after him. And then the next day we just got, Jeff Hardy's been released. So there's been a lot of stuff come out of it since. Like Matt Hardy said that he did pass a drug test, and there's been a few other stories, but I mean, you'd have to think it has to be something around that if they haven't said anything else.
I would almost guarantee that there's like drinking and drug clauses in Jeff Hardy's contract that were just like, if he has any alcohol in his breath or anything, he's done.
Well, I think I originally heard something that said he refused to do a drug test afterwards or refused to go to a rehab or something. So then that's when WWE just went, "Nah, I'm done."
Yeah.
So it's sad. And obviously we'll probably see him in AEW eventually, I guess. But I mean, it's just, hopefully he gets better. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
exactly. If that is what it is, then hopefully he gets better because he's got some demons, that kid.
He's been fighting demons for years and years and years. So yeah, hopefully we see Jeff Hardy back and healthy pretty soon. Now, he wasn't the only one to be gone from WWE.
Not at all.
Toni Storm
just today
has been released. Now, apparently, she was asking to be released.
Yeah, she flew herself home from Baltimore this morning after the house show. And there's not really much going on about it. We don't really know. I don't know whether she's not happy with her story. Like, she's just fought Charlotte for the title, you know what I mean?
She just pinned Charlotte on TV.
Not for the title, but she just pinned Charlotte. It was a pretty crappy storyline, to be fair. The whole pies and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, you're fighting for the women's title, like
exactly.
You're up there,
and you got a clean pin on one of the goats,
the greats. So, it's sad to see, but funnily enough, Britt Baker tweeted out a picture today of Toni Storm with an old title over her, and just no comment. It was just like, So these AEW guys, they love stirring the pot, especially the Young Bucks, and Britt's husband also likes to do it. So I mean, she's getting in on the act.
I love
I think
it.
she'd have a no compete clause, and now that she was on the main card, it's probably going to be 3 months. So
yeah, I love it. Yeah, so interesting. I don't know what the go is with Toni Storm. Maybe stuff will come out a bit later. Her fiance is in New Japan, so
he's going through some contract stuff as well over there at the moment. I read today, so I mean, you never know. They could be both just wanting it some time, or who knows with this current world that we're in.
Might just be homesick. Who knows?
Hey, come on back.
Now, more people gone.
Count them up.
Yeah, count them up. Well, this one's gone. We're not sure what's happening. Johnny Gargano. So his contract is finished. He hasn't signed anywhere. He's just about to have a child, so I'm sure he's going to take some time off for that.
Yeah.
But who knows? Will he pop up in AEW? Will he pop up back in WWE?
AEW is just, they're going to run out of, well, they probably won't run out of money because it's Khans, but I mean, they're going to run out of space.
Space for talent. They just have to create more shows.
But that's what I mean. They're going to have to go to 3 shows a week. or they're going to have to go to 3 hours. They're going to have the same problem that WWE does. You know, the marks are going to turn around all of a sudden. WWE will probably change themselves back to a 2-hour show. Yeah. And all of a sudden, everyone will be jumping ship back this way going, oh my God, how good is WWE? AEW sucks. And around we go.
Well, that would be fun. I do like there being two companies. Yeah, great for us.
As fans who just love it. And, you know, you read all this stuff online and they're all talking about, some of the Facebook sites and stuff, they're like, oh, you WWE marks, you don't know, and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, just enjoy both shows. Just enjoy it. Just have
you don't
fun.
have to be one or the other.
No, exactly right.
I do feel like back in the day when I was watching WWF and WCW, there were clear like WWF and WCW fans.
And we were on the opposite. Hence why I'm NWO shirt. I was a WCW man myself. But I did love the WWF. But growing up in the country, man, I didn't get much WWF footage coverage. So, I mean, maybe that's what cost me. But
yeah, you had to take what you get.
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, we also had some other people leave WWE and pop up in AEW. In fact, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish now have made the move to AEW to join Adam Cole.
What an introduction.
Bit of an undisputed reunion. O'Reilly and Fish going to go back to being known as Red Dragon. And they got their first win today as a trios match. So
the Undisputed Era. But how good was his entrance, though? It was pretty much exactly what they did in NXT, similar thing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he just looked... It's funny how Kyle O'Reilly goes from just what he was in NXT, and then all of a sudden, when he came out in AEW, he just looked mean. He looked so much better. It's so weird how that happens.
He did. It's also, you think back to NXT and that feud that he had with Adam Cole, like that just elevated him to another level to where if he tried to do that jump beforehand, it just wouldn't have worked as well.
No. But he obviously, that's why Cole obviously knew what he was doing. That's why Cole signed that contract to stay a bit longer. And he wanted to push him up so that he could get that push and make him look better, you know?
Hey, and it's working wonders for Cole right now too. He's got 2 new running mates to go along with the Bucks. So
well, that's the thing though. Remember we talked about how the Bucks gave Hangman Page the nod when he beat Kenny Omega. So is it going to be, you know, Hangman and the Bucks versus the Undisputed Era? And did I hear a rumor that they own the name Undisputed Era as well?
I haven't heard that. That would be very interesting.
I did read that somewhere. It might have just been somebody talking, you know, a load, but it'd be pretty good if they did. If WWE didn't tie that up, they're silly.
That would be incredible. Surely WWE have that tied up.
Poor old Roderick Strong's just sitting back there, just going, what about me? You know?
Look at this little cruiserweight title that's going to be no more very soon.
Yeah, it's going soon apparently, isn't it, as well? So there's another
So we've had some re-signings by WWE. Very rare to hear about these. Kevin Owens is re-signed with WWE.
That's a good one.
And there are rumors that Sami Zayn has as well. So
it's his best friend.
His best friend. Keep those two. I think, you know, keeping Owens is probably the first step towards keeping Zayn. So looking like those two will stay.
Keeping Owens is massive though. I think like he's a real good. He's good. Like no matter what you do with him, he's good.
I think that would have really hurt WWE had they not re-signed him. So good for KO and good for WWE. Now we've seen, let's go over to AEW. We saw an incredible 5-star time limit draw match between Bryan Danielson and Hangman Page for the AEW World Title, which was a brilliant match.
Meltzer gave it a 5, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Surprised he didn't go with a 6, to be honest. But
it was a Meltzer 5. I feel like they can't do too many more time limit draws, surely.
Well, Ric Flair came out and said that he used to do plenty of 60-minute Broadways back in the day, and that's what it used to be back in the NWA days and that kind of stuff. So I mean, AEW does have that little sort of heart to the old school, if you know what I mean. It does. So I guess that's probably why they're doing it.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, I'll be okay with it then. But, Ruby Soho and Jade Cargill are now going to face off for the new TBS championship. They both made the final.
Well, Jade went through today, didn't she?
That's right.
And there was a little surprise come out today after that match.
We did see a surprise.
Mercedes Martinez came out,
made her AEW debut.
Yes, under the hood.
Yeah,
so there's another one.
Yeah, like Jade Cargill needs any help.
Yeah, she needs help. Yeah. she's scary.
And we had good old JR back.
Yeah.
Cancer free.
Good to hear. Well done, JR.
Good to hear, JR.
He's gone through a lot in his day, poor old JR. You know, the Bell's palsy. He lost his wife not long ago. So, I mean, it's good to see that he's got cancer-free diagnosis now.
It is. Good on you, JR. We've had Hook debut since, not debut, but have his first actual matches since we last spoke, and he's looked good.
Yeah, that match against the Bear the other day, was it last week? Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one of the suplexes he did. He just landed him on his head. I was like, oh, how did you even pick him up, let alone do that? You know what I mean? Like, but obviously, you know who his dad is. So
yeah, he's looking very good. He needs a bit more meat on him, I think, but he's still looking very good. And we had Cody Rhodes now had a bit of a
champ.
Yeah, he's a new TNT champ, beat Sammy Guevara after taking on Malachi Black and just burning the crap out of himself on a lit on fire table, and you can see all the burns on his back still.
Yeah.
But
jump on his Twitter and Instagram and stuff. There's plenty of photos. It didn't look good.
Nasty stuff. Moving back to WWE now. WWE have ranked their best matches of 2021. And do you have a guess of what number one would be, Benny?
Look, it's been a big year, so I couldn't think, but you got to think it's got something with Roman in it.
It doesn't, surprisingly.
Really?
It's
okay.
Edge and Rollins, Hell in a Cell at Crown Jewel.
As soon as I said it, I was like, it's going to have Edge in it, yeah.
Which was a fantastic match.
Cracking match.
Closely followed by Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. So there we go. Well done, Edge and Rollins. Match of the year 2021 within WWE. We'll move on to
Meltzer probably gave it a 3-star rating.
Yeah, probably. We'll move on to NXT, where the New Year's Evil card is starting to shape up. Now we've got Bron Breakker against Ciampa for the NXT Championship. Now, Bron Breakker is paying $1.40. So
wow,
it looks like it's time for the new guard to take over.
So my theory with that is then that Ciampa will be in the Rumble.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, that's where I'm thinking with that. So Breakker, if he wins the title, Ciampa will be in the Rumble. And I reckon he'll do like a 30-minute stint in the Rumble. So he'll come in at like 3 or 4 and stay in there for a while.
That's brilliant. I hadn't thought about that. I like it. We're also going to see a unification match with the North American and Cruiserweight titles. So the Cruiserweight Championship will be no more. We have Carmelo Hayes against Roderick Strong.
What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, get rid of it.
Get rid of it?
Get rid of it. I mean, I know it's got a lot of legacy going back to WCW. And there was some brilliant stuff in WCW, but I don't know if it's the purple or what it is about that belt. But
they created a show around that title, remember? Like
they did.
So they gave it a big push and whatever else. I guess get rid of it. And then the winner gets the North American title, and then that's it. Yeah.
I mean, at the time, when it was huge in WCW, those little guys weren't getting a shot at the main event.
No, but think of the names that they were at the time.
Yeah, exactly. You got Mysterio, you got Jericho,
Eddie,
Hoovy,
we can't say.
All those guys. But now little guys can get a shot at the title. So I don't think you need it as much.
So many little guys have had a shot at the title and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah.
I'm happy to see it go.
Yeah. Who wins?
Carmelo. You got to give Roderick Strong something now that all his friends are on a different show, don't you?
I've seen, that I never watched this. It was well past our age group, but there's that meme, the SpongeBob meme, where Squidward's looking through the little hole, and SpongeBob and old mate are down there, and it's got like Undisputed Era down the bottom, and then it says Roderick Strong watching his friends on AEW, and he's just watching through a porthole, like hating life. So.
I'm gonna pick Roderick Strong. I'm sure Carmelo's the favorite, but now we've also got Riddle is dipping his toe back into NXT, and he's teaming with MSK to take on Imperium with Walter coming back. So that'll be fun to see Riddle. And then we've got another Raw transplant with AJ Styles taking on Australia's very own Grayson Waller.
Literally in my notes here, I was going to say, what about the push for Grayson Waller? Is that going to happen?
What is it?
The guy from Survivor in Australia is going to go and, fight AJ Styles. What about that?
Hey, well, reality TV worked for the Miz, why not? Now, funnily enough, talking about Grayson Waller, Sportsbet actually has a field of Grayson Waller's first title that he wins.
I seen that today. I was literally looking through the odds and stuff today, and I was like, wow, that's crazy.
And I would have thought off the top of my head, okay, NXT North American title would be favorite, but it's not. No. It's the NXT Championship at $2.50.
Well, how good would this be if it's him versus Zion Quinn? Two Aussies
go at it. Let's just put it at WrestleMania. Why not?
Do it, man. Let's go. Let's go.
But if you want some real money, the Universal Championship is paying $101 for Grayson Waller.
It's worth a 50-cent bet.
Yeah.
Gamble responsibly.
So yeah, plenty going on in the world of wrestling. But we shift our focus now to day one. The pay-per-view coming up. Now, day one, it's the first of its kind, but we have had 3 New Year's revolutions in the past from 2005 to 2007. First New Year's Revolution 2005 was held in San Juan, Puerto Rico. And we had an Elimination Chamber match for the vacant at the time World Heavyweight Championship, which was won by your boy Triple H.
Yeah.
Now,
he always won those kind of matches.
He loves Elimination
Chamber. Loved it.
It also featured Trish Stratus winning the Women's Championship in a title match with Lita after Lita tore her ACL during the match.
Oh, did she finish the match?
She finished the match.
Geez, they're tough, aren't they?
They are.
It's like when Triple H tore his quad and finished that match.
Well, funny you mentioned that. In 2007 at New Year's Revolution, Rated RKO took on DX and Triple H ruptured his quad, giving Orton a spine buster. So yeah, there was the ruptured quad there.
Okay. Hive mind, thinking alike.
There you go. In 2006, so the middle one, we were treated to another Elimination Chamber match, which was won by John Cena. And then what did we see after that, Benny?
Nah, you lost me.
I've lost you. The first ever Money in the Bank cash in.
Right. That's right. We did talk about that.
From Edge on John Cena to win the title.
Yes.
And Cena was the headliner in the last edition in 2007, ruining Umaga's undefeated streak and retaining the WWE title.
Bring back Armando Alejandro
Estrada. I love it.
Just speaking of Umaga, there's a big push for him to be named in the Hall of Fame this year at WrestleMania.
Okay.
Quite a few people. I think Rikishi started it, obviously, but there's quite a few people getting behind it. People like Undertaker and Godfather and stuff like that. So,
geez, they gave him a big push when he came, and he was just a beast.
But you watch all the different shows about him and stuff like that, or even shows about Yoko or anybody else, and they always say that they like Eddie. I think Eddie was his name, wasn't it? Like even the Usos talk about him. Like everyone says he was going to be the best.
Yeah.
Like Yoko had like a massive push and everything, but he got so fat and whatever else and couldn't work anymore. But they said that Umaga was always going to be like the best. So
he was such a beast.
Yeah.
Now moving back, we've got 2 superstars who competed in the New Year's Revolutions are competing on the day one card. Can you pick them?
Randy Orton.
Yeah.
And Edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're the only 2 superstars who appeared at New Year's Revolution. Edge is 1-2-1. There's 1 win being against Cena with the cash in. While Orton is 0-1-1. Now, the extra 1 for both of them was Rated RKO and DX going to a no contest.
Yeah, right.
So Orton hasn't won a New Year's match yet.
And he won't. Just a little heads up going with that. So.
Well, let's do it, Benny. Let's get into the card and let's kick off with that match, the Raw Tag Team Championship match.
Before we do that, do you think there's going to be a kickoff match?
There possibly will be.
Something like a Dewdrop and what's her name? Oh, I can't even think of her name now. It's killing me.
Not Shane.
See, now I've got you stuff.
Yeah, you got me. So
Bianca Belair.
Oh, Bianca, yeah. Possibly to try and get them on the card. I mean,
done. But like, there's so many people not on the card. You know what I
mean? Like, so and maybe they're doing it on purpose. I mean, to me, I'm looking at this second match I've got written down: Drew McIntyre against Madcap Moss. That screams out as a pre-show card, pre-show match.
Anyway, sorry to put you off. Yeah, go back to it.
Well, okay. Raw Tag Team Championship, RK Bro and the Street Profits. Now, after beating the Mysterios in the RK Bronament, Dawkins and Ford now set their sights on the tag champs. Orton and Riddle, they've still got a bit of momentum too. They beat Otis and Gable on Raw. How do you see this one going, Benny?
Mate, as I just said, I think Street Profits take the win. It's time for a change.
Time for a change. Well, you're going to get $3.10.
$3. Yeah, okay. It was gone up. It was $3 when I looked at it.
$3.10 for Street Profits. $1.32 for RK Bro.
Taking $3.10.
I'm going to go against you here. RK Bro, man, these guys are so fun. I love the chemistry. You know, Orton giving him a hug on Raw. I know you're not a big fan, but, you know, joked about giving him an RKO.
So this is where I go with this. A little bit of uneasiness in the match, whatever else, cost them the titles. And then there's going to be a whole heap of stuff go on for January. And then Riddle's going to throw Randy out at the Rumble. And then that's going to lead to WrestleMania.
Jeez, you booked that one pretty far ahead.
Mate, just call me Vince. I'll change it 500 times, but hey, it's okay. I'm thinking ahead.
I mean, I agree with you. I think there's going to be some dysfunction that's going to lead to a breakup. But I think it's going to be, I don't think it'll be a quick bit of dysfunction before they lose the tag titles. So
that's fair.
I think they keep him. Moving on to what looks like a kickoff match. Drew McIntyre and Madcap Moss. Now Moss thrown under the bus by Happy Corbin after Corbin threw out the challenge to McIntyre to face Madcap.
Yeah.
We've got McIntyre $1.17, Moss $4.33.
Mate, it should be Winks odds, to be honest. It should be $1.09, but
put your house on it.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre wins. Obviously, the only way that he doesn't win is if, you know, Corbin gets involved, the ref turns. Like, there could be a big schmoz somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But you'd have to think that they're just going to beat down Drew. You know, Drew wins via disqualification or something. They just beat him down.
Yeah.
It feels like a seat filler match, but, I mean, it's too early in the card for that. So, I mean, whether they shuffle the card around a little bit. But it seems like a bit of a knockdown the card for Drew. Like,
massively.
You know, he went over to SmackDown. You thought he was going to be taking on Roman and all that kind of stuff. And now it's just sort of, yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
Do you think they'll schmoz it somehow that we do end up getting a McIntyre Corbin match?
Yeah, probably.
Or, I mean, at least we're going to get that down the line, right?
We'll probably end up with a handicap match, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, you know what WWE's like. And then Drew will power out of that. And then he'll make him look even bigger. And then, it could be Drew and his sword versus those two. You know what I mean? Like,
that sword. Get rid of the sword.
Shawn Michaels did, you know, team with God, didn't he? So, I mean.
That's true.
Like, anything
can happen. Team with anyone.
Imagine Drew goes over and tags his sword in and then just gets to wield this. Like, yeah, anything could happen these days.
Oh, crazy. All right. We move on to Edge and The Miz. Now, been treated to a few segments the past weeks in this one. You know, first with The Miz using Maurice as a shield and end up getting slapped by her. Then Maurice going on the cutting edge, trying to unsuccessfully trick Edge, but he did get the upper hand anyway. And lastly, we saw, now I don't want to call it a bloodbath because it's not a bloodbath anymore, but a black bath. What are they calling it?
Yeah, I don't know. Because obviously, you know, it's PG, so they're not allowed to do blood, I guess. But
yeah.
We had the vow renewal, and we all know that those never go well.
Yeah.
Remember when Triple H ended it with Stephanie and stuff like that? They never go well. We always knew it was going to be bad.
And they had Bischoff as the celebrant, and he didn't even finish. He was like, you know what's going to happen here.
Instantly knew. Well, remember when Bischoff did the whole, you could have 3 years, 3 months, or 3 minutes, and that was the 3-minute warning.
I was so disappointed there was no 3-minute reference in that.
Yeah, that should have been, yeah. But obviously then Edge turns around and goes, "Oh, you didn't think this was going to be a white wedding, did you?" And then you hear the Brood music and it happens. So
and Miz just decides to not get out of the ring even though everyone knows what's coming. But anyway.
Actually, if you watch properly, he moves so that he's on the mark even more. So it was pretty funny. But these two should put on a good match too.
I think so too. This
is the one match I'm looking forward to the most on the card.
We've got Edge
at wrestling style anyway.
Edge at $1.33, Miz at $3. Now I'm picking the upset here.
Yeah.
I'm picking a sneaky win for the Miz.
Right,
I think they can actually make something a bit more out of this feud. If Miz cheats for a win, I feel like if Edge gets the win, that's it, done and dusted. Yeah. I know Edge isn't, performing at every show, but I think they can milk more out of this if Miz gets the win.
Well, I've written it's a toss-up for me, but I'm going to say Edge takes the win. Do we see a mixed tag team match?
Well, I think that's what everyone's kind of hoping for too, right? Beth Phoenix.
I don't know if I'm hoping for it, but I mean, it's possibly what we're going to see.
Well, I mean, Beth is no longer doing NXT commentary, so good time to train. And
is she cleared to wrestle? Didn't she retire because she wasn't cleared to wrestle? Anyway,
I think she's good to go.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll move on. SmackDown Tag Team Championship. We got the Usos and the New Day. Here we go again. Two of the best ever go at it again for the titles.
At least we know it's going to be a good match. They always put on a show.
They do. We've got Usos at $1.36, New Day at $2.87.
Now, there's two trains of thought here, right? It's called Day One.
New Day.
6.
New
Day.
Day One.
Yeah.
New Day One.
Okay, but I'm going with the whole down since Day One-ish. So, hey, there it is. They've got to win, surely.
Wow, I didn't even think of all those possibilities. The Day One-ish, New Day.
If they have a rap battle halfway through it'll be even better.
They've missed out in promoting that, surely. I've got the New Day upsetting.
Give us a call, WWE. Give us a call. We've got this.
Cool. I think New Day One will win. I think they're going to start the year off with a win and upset the Bloodline.
Okay. I disagree, but okay.
But no, we've got a lot of disagreements in this one.
I like it.
Good. This is good. Got the Raw Women's Championship match. Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan. Plenty of back and forth between these two. Big time Beck smashed Liv Morgan's arm a few weeks ago. Got Becky Lynch $1.20. Liv Morgan $4. This
I feel like we're going to argue on this one as well.
I don't think we are actually. So no, I've got.
So your love for Liv is not going to stick. You're going to go against her.
Here's what I think. I think Liv will get the title, but not yet.
Fair. You've been saying that since Money in the Bank, or
yeah. Maybe I see a Shawn Michaels fighting his way to WrestleMania kind of moment. I think
is Liv Morgan your Shawn Michaels of the women's division? Wow,
that's a big call,
it, folks. He's called it.
That's a big call. But I do think that they can make Liv into this, into this person that everyone wants to see win so bad, and she keeps getting so close, and it doesn't happen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's what I think is going to happen. Becky Lynch for me.
Becky wins as well.
Now on to one. This is the one I'm actually looking forward to the most: the WWE Championship Fatal 4-Way match. Big E, Rollins, KO, Bobby Lashley. I think it's been a fun build-up, with KO getting himself in the match to getting Rollins DQ to try and keep Lashley out, and then Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins giving off serious, two-man power trip vibes. I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it works, but then obviously it's all going to fall apart and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, Bobby's the power that you like, all that dominance in the match. So they're going to have to get rid of him early, which is probably what's going to happen. They're going to get rid of Big E early, and then all of a sudden it's going to be those two, and they're going to be like, okay, let's go. I think they take the brunt of the match, the wrestling of the match, because the other two are just too big. I'm not saying the other two can't wrestle, but
you don't think they're going to lean into this buddy Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins kind of thing?
But they will for most of the match by beating down the other two. And then it'll just turn into those two, and then they'll put on a bit of a match because the other two will be out. It's Fatal 4-Way, so therefore there's no DQ, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So, they can take them out of the match with chairs or whatever else, and then they'll have to wrestle each other. And then obviously it's going to be the comebacks and whatever else. But I still think Big E will snake the victory.
See, I was very surprised at the odds. So I've got $1.57 for Big E, $5 Lashley, $5 Rollins, $6 Owens. So the bookies are like, this is a lock for Big E to win. But the way I think about it, I think Fatal 4-Ways, they can very easily lead to an upset win. I think Rollins and KO are both going to try and get a sneaky win and not have it work. But I think Lashley's going to get it in the end.
Okay. Yeah, I think obviously those two will try and get the sneaky pins or whatever else. Then Lashley will hit a spear on one of them. And then, somebody like Big E might just roll in, or like he might spear one of them out of the ring or something like that. And then Big E is just going to roll in and then give him the big ending or something like that.
I think my thought process was that they're going to keep this Rollins and Owens friendship thing kind of going. And if one of them wins the title, then that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, that still works though both ways.
It does.
But then they'll have a great feud against each other as well.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I think they could get some incredible matches out of that. Moving on to the final match of the card, the Universal Championship match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. Reigns has now fired Heyman, gave him a Superman punch as well. We saw some, did he take the punch, to fool everyone? We saw some really fun stuff with Brock and Sami Zayn, I thought. Brock's cracking me up at the moment.
Yeah, it's probably the best Brock my favorite Brock.
I was just seeing that his charisma is off the charts right now. I'm loving it.
Just this country boy Brock, just having fun and in his overalls and just
the overalls, wanting to take Sami Zayn hunting, even though Sami Zayn's a vegan. Love it.
It's the Brock we kind of wanted when he was doing that whole Money in the Bank stuff. When he was trying to be cool with the briefcase and that kind of stuff. That's what they were going for, but they're getting it now with the way he's carrying on, and it's working this time. It's fun.
Absolutely,
so I like it. I really enjoy it.
I'm loving it. I've got Reigns $1.45, Brock $2.60. I've got Reigns. I don't think Brock's going to take the title off him yet. Feels like a WrestleMania moment to me.
Yeah,
if possibly. It happens, then
I've literally written here. I'll say Roman Reigns wins. Where do Heyman's alliances lie? Like, obviously, he won't come out to the ring with either person at the start, but he'll come out halfway through the match or something like that. And then I reckon it was all a ruse, the whole stuff with him getting fired and stuff like that. And then he costs Brock the match and Roman wins, and they all hug at the end and the bloodline's back together. And
okay.
That's where I'm going with that.
We will see. We will see when day one happens in a few days. Now, that's it for our preview of the card, but we're going to get into one of our favorite things. We're going to draft. Now,
this one was tough.
This one was really tough. I don't know if we'll even have any that are the same for this one, but with New Year's,
different one, like mine, I'm just all over the place with this one. So
with New Year's coming up, we thought we would do a New Year's resolution draft. So basically, things that we want to see happen in the wrestling world in 2022.
Yeah.
Now, I believe I'm up first.
You are, my friend. You
this
are.
Week. So here's one thing that I really want to see. This is the thing I probably want to see the most. I want to see a big name jump from AEW to WWE. That is my number one thing on my New Year's resolution list.
I like it. I do like that. My number one was I want Bray Wyatt to return.
To WWE or just
to WWE? Yeah, that was mine.
I love it. That would be fun. And I did not have that one. All right. So I think this is one probably a lot of people want. And I'm gonna throw it in here. Rock and Reigns at WrestleMania.
I almost went down the Rock. Like, I did have the Rock on there, but he was like low on my list. I was like, everybody wants it. I think it'll be massive. But how does it happen? Does that mean Rock wins the Rumble? Surely not. Although he is $4 odds to win the Rumble, I think I read today.
Wow.
$5. Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Brock's $2.50, and then the Rock's second favorite to win the Rumble. So that'll be interesting if it does happen. My next one is, this is a bit of a funny one. Well, not funny, but my second one is almost doesn't win the Rumble. Please, Lord, don't let that happen. Pretty much don't let him win anything because I can't stand him. So that's my thing. He's going to look big in the Rumble, obviously, but please don't let him win.
So you feel like this is important to you. You feel like they're going to give him a push and you don't want it.
I don't want it. So it's things we want or don't want. I don't want that.
Okay. I like it. it. All right. I want to see Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly against Kenny Omega and the Bucks.
Okay. Well, we almost talked about that before, but we had Paige, but obviously Paige got the title. So
I want to see Omega and Cole go at it and with all the guys there. That'd be good. That would be good. My next one, I mentioned it before a little bit, but
I want to see our boy Daniel Vito, Zion Quinn, win the NXT title.
Ah, okay.
Shout out to Daniel Vito.
I actually had not that exact one. I had Vito either wins the NXT title or debuts on the main roster. So
yeah,
love it. Daniel
good
Vito. Got quite a few here. I might save that one for the end. I don't think you're going to take that one.
I don't think either of the two that I've got you would have. So
screw it. I want to see CM Punk win the AEW title.
Did you see what he said about MJF today?
No.
He said MJF was a bigger waste of Khan's money than Tim Tebow.
I love it.
Yeah, that was pretty good. CM Punk still killing it, but yeah, no, I can't have that happen. My next one, it's a bit of a weird one, just something that I'm over and I'm sick of. I want them to can the Hell in the Cell and the Money in the Bank pay-per-views and put them back to being on a pay-per-view and make that the main match.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
So even if we don't have a pay-per-view every month, because I feel like they just do the pay-per-views these days just because they have to have one.
Yeah.
Which is
Oh, we've lost you, Benny. We've lost you for a second. Hopefully you come back. So
going with that one.
Sorry, Benny, we just lost you there. But so you want to get rid of the
Hell
in a Cell and Money in the Bank pay-per-views?
Yeah, and put them back into remember when Money in the Bank was on WrestleMania?
Yes.
And then
have them as marquee matches.
Match. Yeah.
Okay,
exactly
yeah.
Right.
I like that. I'm down with that. How many do you have? Like, I could go pretty deep with this draft.
Mate, I've only got, I had the Rock stuff as well, but I've only got one more that I really want, to be honest.
Okay.
But...
All right. We'll go 5. Go 5 and give some honorable mentions. I want to see WWE open the forbidden door.
Yeah, I like it. I don't think it'll happen.
You know, I know it's not going to happen with AEW, but there's a lot of guys out there who are looking for work. When
Ring of Honor comes back up, New Japan even.
Exactly. So that's what I'm hoping for.
My last one is a bit silly, and surely it can't happen because surely this person can't still have the title. But I want to see Seth win the title at SummerSlam over Roman.
Ah. Okay, I like that.
So random match, random long way away, but yeah, that just sort of popped into my head.
Love it. Seth having the title's always fun.
Yeah.
Do you have any honorable mentions?
Yeah, look, this one here I've sort of read, and so it's not really my own. I just sort of read it and went, oh, that'll be pretty funny. But the whole Austin Theory angle at the moment with Vince and whatever else, Vince gives him a push and then Stone Cold gives him a stunner at WrestleMania.
I like it. I like it. Why not? I'm sure Austin could pull a stunner out
Austin
at WrestleMania.
Versus Austin, Vince, Vince's man, and then
I had a few things. Paige returning is on my list. I want to see this. This really almost made it. I want to see Cesaro win a world title.
Yeah, he just doesn't work. He's great. He's great in the ring and everything, but he just doesn't work as the marquee man for me.
No, I know. Solo Sikoa joining the Bloodline.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's on there. MJF winning the AEW title.
That's going to happen.
That would be fun. I had on here Reigns holding his title all year.
Well, there you go. If he holds it to SummerSlam.
There you go.
Then Rollins takes it off him.
I want a very long Orton and Riddle feud.
Yeah.
And
we'll get that.
That's pretty much all I got.
That's plenty of stuff that definitely could happen.
So we've got all right.
A couple of minor a little bit, yeah, but what?
My New Year's resolutions are for a big name to jump from AEW to WWE. Rock and Reigns at WrestleMania. I've got Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly to take on Omega and the Bucks. CM Punk to win the AEW title and WWE to open the Forbidden Door. Benny wants Bray Wyatt to return to WWE. He wants Omos to not win the Rumble or get a push of any kind.
Nope.
Daniel Vito to win the NXT title. Get rid of the Hell in a Cell and Money in the Bank pay-per-views and just have them back as marquee matches. And for Seth Rollins to win the title over Roman Reigns at SummerSlam.
There we go.
I think I'll be pretty happy if all of those things happen.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, nice. Well, that's it for our day one preview. Thanks everyone for joining us. As I mentioned, we'll post our fantasy draft to the socials. Tell us, who you think drafted the best 5 resolutions. What you guys want to see in the new year in the world of wrestling. We'll be back next.
You think he's going to win at day one?
Yeah, there you go. We'll be back next week with our thoughts on what happened at day one and the Raw afterwards, and we'll take you through all the other big news and results from around the world of wrestling. Hit us up on the socials at 3CountPod on Twitter and Facebook, at 3Count Podcast on Instagram, or email us 3countpod@outlook.com. Benny, once again, thank you for your time and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Pleasure as always. Happy New Year. Enjoy yourself tomorrow night.
Everyone enjoy day one and have a happy new year.